Hello, this is Eros Christos, and I welcome you from my heart to your heart. What else could be so sweet and so appropriate in the times we're living in? And I want to start out with a little prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunektu Saviryam Karvavahe Tejatsmina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Sadguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. So, this is basically honoring and respecting who we really are, our inner self, our true self. And I think in the days we are living right now, more than ever, it's important to focus on what is really real, our true essence, our divine being, our divine multi-dimensional being. And that will allow us to get a real balanced perspective of what's going on this planet right now. And I've been thinking about this, there are so many things. There's so much turmoil, there's so much chaos, there's so many different opinions and ideas and concepts and beliefs. And the only thing that remains really is that we have 24 hours a day, you and I, and what do I focus upon? Do I focus upon the possibility that I am a beautiful and whole and complete being right now, or do I focus on my perceived limitations and fears and anxieties? Because no matter what, if I focus on the beauty and the love within inside of me, I'm going to feel much, much better. If I focus on the fear and the chaos, it's not going to go away. It's still going to be what I am experiencing, right? So, and that's a beautiful saying of the great master Gourmet. She said, that when you're focusing on the problems of tomorrow, you rob yourself of the joy of today, of the joy in the moment. And that's really, really true. And so I've been contemplating this and thinking about it. And then I came to realize a few things here. My mother tongue is Swedish at some point in time. And I know enough English right now to know that I don't really know any English. And the same thing is with the spiritual path. I have had enough beautiful experiences to know that I don't know anything. And in that not knowing anything, my mind is truly like a parachute, always open. And I think right now, to become simple and truly authentic with myself is really, really, really important. Because every moment, truly every moment, I can make a choice what I expose my mind to. And another great master said, the mind is like a white piece of material. And if you wash it with other materials with different colors, the mind's going to take on those colors. That white material is going to absorb these other colors. So what I expose and absorb moment to moment defines the quality of my life. Watching negative news and concepts and ideas just agitates the mind. Chanting, meditating, praying, whatever you do, stills the mind. And when the mind becomes still, you and I have clarity, and the anxiety and the fears will vanish. We really become like spiritual warriors, like the Native Americans used to have a saying, today is a good day to die, right? Or the Vikings, they weren't scared of death as such, however, they respected it. And when you and I change our way of looking at this, life is going to show up in a whole different way. We are not going to react to life anymore. We are actually going to allow life to be our partner, our life partner in a very, very different way. So, and another thing I remember today was that when 9/11 happened, I had just returned from a trip that I had been doing, and I had just been back in Honolulu for not even a night, and then 9/11 happened. When this COVID situation started, I had also returned to Hawaii from other places. So somehow, when something major happens, I'm being put back here on the islands, because the trade winds, the nature, everything about the islands are so pristine and so beautiful, and it allows my whole being to kind of take a really, really deep breath and rejuvenate. And this deep breath has also nature been practicing now during this last year and a half. And as you know, the dolphins returned to the channels in Venice, Italy, after just a few months. And you can see that nature has been rejuvenating itself, because we haven't been polluting her, we haven't been destroying her, we have been giving her an opportunity to really, really breathe again. And I really do believe this is part of the message that we need to receive right now. That living on this planet, we have certain responsibility to be stewards of this planet. We need to take care of her and honor her. And if we do the opposite, nature is going to do what she has to do to balance it. There's no way she's going to allow us to destroy and diminish her values and steal from her all her minerals that is contained within her womb and do what we've been doing. And she's just going to idle stand by and let it happen. No, there is no way. So at this moment, we all have to take into account what we have been contributing to destroying the planet. There's no really any way around it. The oceans, 2/3 of the coral reefs are already gone. And I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of years it's going to take to replenish this, because the poison is still seeping into the oceans from different companies that are still using the ocean as a garbage can, dumping in all sorts of things. So, and the oceans, in my humble way of looking at it, are the lungs of the planet. And when your lungs are not working properly, well, it's difficult to breathe, right? So we have a tremendous opportunity, like doing 9/11. This giant mirror was right in front of us, and we could look into this mirror, and for a moment, human beings united in a common cause. And of course, that didn't last too long. Right now, we have another giant mirror we are staring into. And we have an opportunity to, with love and right understanding and compassion, to unite again as one human family and not separate ourselves into camps of this is right or this is wrong. And you know what I'm talking about, all of these different separations that are happening now around the virus and all of these things. We don't need to follow that script. We can rip it up, throw it out, and allow each person to experience whatever they experience, because that is their experience that they need to grow. And we all have different experiences, and we are all on different levels. Neither one is right or wrong, good or bad, high or low. It's simply that some people have certain lessons to grasp, other people have other lessons. And it's vital, really vital, to respect and honor each other in this way and stop the insanity, what is going on now with people separating themselves and judging. It's not going to solve anything. It's just going to make more of the same. So I encourage myself and all of us to really understand. It doesn't matter, like I'm 74, whatever that means. However, it doesn't matter if you're 70, 20, 30, 50. Time is so short. Really, it is so short. And before we know it, it's kind of, when I turned 50, I remember very well, I was in Hawaii too at that point. And then I turned around, wow, that was my life 20 years later. What happened? I have no clue. It goes so quickly. And so it's vital to remember who we really are, and that we become this divine mirror, that life becomes a dance, showing this beautiful mirror who we really are, and allow everybody to express themselves from their heart and their soul, where they are at any given moment. Because otherwise, you'd be stuck in the Groundhog Day, the movie Groundhog Day, and you'd only get stuck there because that's stagnancy. And in stagnancy, water that is still starts smelling and doesn't have, is basically not very alive. The same thing in our lives. When we become too stagnant, too comfortable, and we don't have challenges, that's when we stop growing. That's when we stop being alive, truly alive. And that's when we stop experiencing the possibility, what life really can be and provide for each and every one of us. So I trust that anybody who is listening to this now or later on will really take this to heart Truly, I'm sharing this from my heart to your heart. And what could be more respectful and more honorable than to see each other as a mirror for that divine radiance, that beautiful being that we truly are, and just temporarily forgotten. Let us remember again. It's a choice. I choose to remember who I am, or I choose to be in forgetfulness, like my English here. And it's a choice, neither right or wrong, good or bad, simply a choice. However, if we want to change the current situation, we need to change our way of looking at ourselves and looking at the world. Like a great master said, Baba Muktananda, he said, you want to change the world? Change the prescription of your glasses. And it's really true. When I change the prescription, how I see, everything changes. Everything is new. And possibilities are there. Otherwise, I look at everything through the lens of my concepts and beliefs and ideas. And I, again, truly believe we have been given a tremendous opportunity here to really understand the message here, so we can change it and live in a peaceful, beautiful world where we are stewards of the planet, where the elements and Mother Earth starts interacting with us again. And as I said, and this choice has to be made moment to moment. When you experience fear, understand when fear is present, you cannot experience love. There are only basically two emotions, love and fear, right? So when I'm in my heart and experience love, fear is not present. And so that choice is always available to each and every one of us. We don't need to live through our habitual patterns. We have the choice to be spontaneous, swimming with dolphins and interacting with dolphins in the open ocean that I've been doing for many years. It taught me something about spontaneity. And spontaneity is such a divine gift to practice, because in spontaneity there is a flow without expectations. We just allow the spontaneous energy to take us to different places, and it doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't have to make sense. It's just the intellect who has this idea, it has to make sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't really at all. So, yeah, and so if you feel what I've been sharing with you, not for me, because I'm doing this totally out of my heart. Truly I am. At the same time, I'm curious to see how this is received. And so if you want to share or kind of comment, that would be really wonderful. And if you think it's something you want to hear more about, well, I'll be happy to play in this way and share more about the dolphins and their messages. I have a book coming out beginning of the year. It's messages from the dolphins since a long time since I started swimming and interacting with them. And and so I've been focusing a lot of this message. I've been finishing up this book, and then of course, I have Time is Promised to No One. Time is Promised to No One took me 24 years to write, and it's about dealing with life and death. So for 24 years I was occupied by that, and the more occupied and the more I wrote about this and wrote this book, the freer I became, the more open I became. And I realized that when life and death dances together, the fear vanishes. So when I accept that as part of my life, the fear vanishes, and I can see it in a very different perspective, that life and death is simply a play of the mind, because who you are is a divine being, and you're never really born and you never really die either, because energy or consciousness cannot be destroyed, right? It can shapeshift, change its form, however, it can never be destroyed. So, yeah. So, anyone, I don't know, I'm not so kind of too used to all of this. I don't know, can you ask questions here? I'm kind of learning. I'm still kind of like a baby fumbling around when it comes to technology. So if you have any questions, maybe you can ask them and maybe I can answer them. I don't know how it's working if you text something. So, and what else? What else can we talk about? Remember, truly, remember who you are all the time, and practice spiritual practices, whatever they are. Go within. Take the time you have and understand who you are. Stop focusing on the news. Understand this beautiful saying from Gurmai, that give up the idea that there is something more important than being with your own soul. I think that basically sums it up. And I think it's something really worth considering and contemplate, and start reprogramming our brain. Our brain is like a computer chip. Let's take out the old computer chip with all its programming and put in a new one with fresh, bold, courageous ideas that will actually elevate my consciousness and allow myself to look at myself from a higher vibration. And when that happens, I automatically mirror that for anyone and everyone on this planet. So make a commitment to take the responsibility to know your own divine self. No money, no power. I mean, whatever it is we are searching for with our 5 physical senses, none of that matters. It only matters if I know who I am, a beautiful, divine being, right now, at this very moment. Then, if I want to play with these other things, sure, go for it. And it's just temporary anyway. But the main focus must now be focus on your divine nature. And I could sit here for another hour and say the same thing over and over again. However, that's why we have it recorded, right? So you can watch it again and again and again. Don't take it lightly. You and I, we have a certain stamp in our visa to come to this planet, no matter how you got here. If you're a starseed, if you're a walk-in, or you came in through birth, whatever it is, there's a certain stamp in the visa when that expires. And since most of us don't know exactly when that is, it's good not to take time for granted. Use it wisely, like a cuddly teddy bear that you hug and feel comforted by. Don't take advantage of time and thinking you can use it as a bank account you don't have. So, with that, from the bottom of my heart, I truly welcome you to yourself. And be courageous. Be a galactic warrior. Stand in your truth. Be in sovereignty. And trust in that beautiful, beautiful being within you. Trust in that being, because he or she is there for every one of us. We just have to ask. So, yeah, so that's it, and thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend, and let's see. Maybe I do something next week again. We'll see. Well, let's be spontaneous and see how it all unfolds. And in the meantime, take care of yourself and focus on the beauty. Focus on the love. Focus on the possibility that is always there under any circumstance. Always there. Find that pearl, that jewel among these chaotic situations. Find that jewel, that pearl, and hang on to it. And in any language, aloha from Hawaii, and auf Wiedersehen in Germany, and ciao in Italian, hey do in Swedish, and auf Wiedersehen in German, hasta luego in Spanish, and it goes on and on and on. However, the most important thing is the language of the heart. Listen to it. Trust it and follow it.